everybody, Beth here from Access Paranormal, here for this week's I Wanna Know, which is a very intriguing topic. Superhuman strength, is it demonic possession or just plain fear? So thank you to said person who was able to send that through. I know they sent in a couple of other questions as well, so we will be getting through those as the months progress. So thank you for your patience too. I know we've had some interesting comments after that as well, which I thought was funny. I think someone mentioned about maybe just going to the gym might help, but jokes aside, it's actually a really interesting topic, and I'm really, really glad that it was sent through as well. Hi Karen, hi Blair, good to see you've joined again. Hey Vicky, I know that paranormal team very well. Hi Nicole, oh, that's awesome. So yes, this is a really interesting topic. So thank you to said person. I know you'll be watching this at some point. We'll kind of break it down into two sections. So we've got what is superhuman strength, and is it demonic possession and or just plain fear? So superhuman strength, it's something where we've kind of all in some way have experienced an element of it, and that's usually the fight or flight. Now, as investigators in the dark, we're pretty attuned to having a little bit of fear, but this is the kind of fear where you're about to literally fight or bolt. And, you know, your body is obviously a very common protective mode where you start to go into that. So obviously your heart's racing, you're getting more oxygen into your body, you're getting more energy into your body from doing that. There's chemicals going on as well. So you've got adrenaline going. I think cortisone is going, and even endorphin too, so that, you know, the chances of you feeling pain while in this state is very, very minimal, if at all. And you start to, you know, so your heart palpitations are going, so blood circulating all around your body a lot quicker than normal too. So it's literally like, you know, if you're a car fanatic, it's like a supercharge to your body to get ready to literally run or go at it and fight. And that's what superhuman strength is based on, that particular part of happening with our bodies and how we behave. Hello, everybody. Hi. Hi, Gary. How are you? Hi, Karen. Hi, Nick. Cool. So with all these chemicals and stuff going on in your body, as I said, fight or flight. So I think if you've seen it, those sort of police programs where, you know, there's, you know, cops chasing bad people, and it's got the helicopter going along, and there's people driving around, they jump out and they run across stuff, and they're jumping over fences and all sorts of things. And I sometimes sit there and think, how on earth can you find the energy to do that? I have trouble getting up on a Sunday morning, but clearly they have very different motives at that time. And they're out there and they're pushing through it. So obviously that's from a fear, from a flight perspective. That's a good example as to where that will come from, or why they suddenly have all this energy. It could also be substance abuse, but let's just be, you know, sort of on level here. So there's that as well. I know sometimes in the news that we'll see where a parent or a guardian is in a car accident, and their child is trapped, or children are trapped, and they'll actually go to help them out as well, and they actually were able to move and get them out of this particular car wreck more than what they normally would as well. So that can be from a superhuman strength perspective. Sometimes there are reports where people have been able to fight off attackers that they normally wouldn't be able to as well. And often that's a, you know, it's a good sign they're able to get out and they're okay and safe. So different types of things like that. Hi, superhuman strength, I think, is it is the follow through of adrenaline and mostly a spare moment situation like reflex action. Yes, exactly. Your body just snaps, and that's what it is. It's like, it doesn't really have to be a lot of time from the point of actually your mind determining the fear to the actual point of when you're going to go and do something, whatever that decision is. So I agree with you, Blair. I agree 100% with you. So there's that as well. I think it's also called hysterical strength. I think that's another term that's used, and that would make a lot of sense if back in the sort of Viking days, there's actually a type of Viking warrior called Berserkers. Someone may have heard that or not. And they were very, very feared, and they would psych themselves up like nothing and be the first to go into a battle. And literally, just from a psychological perspective, you see these guys screaming like madmen at you, it's going to be very difficult to go into that and actually fight. But they would do the same thing. It's a fight or flight. They would psych themselves up. They know they're getting into battle, and they would literally be a psychological scare as well on the other part too. And I think berserkers means wearing wolves or wearing bears. So it's a wolf wearing bear wearing, because it had skins as well. And they'd go in as well. So that's where berserkers comes from. And also the word berserk. So going berserk. That's where it originates from, apparently. Whether they really truly existed or not, I don't know. But apparently there is some fact on that, and there's some legend in that as well. As I said, when it's from the 1800s, or sorry, 800s, my bad. It's a long way away, so stories can change. We keep that in mind as well. Cool. And so that's basically what happens with our bodies when we're in that particular stage where it's, you know, superhuman strength can actually be possibly present. But then, of course, we've got to look at the other part of the question, where is it demonic possession, or is it just plain fear? Now, we've gone through a couple of scenarios already where superhuman strength can actually be demonstrated in some way. So from my point of view, I would say that that's more than likely the case, because those people, whether they're running from the police, whether they're trying to get their child out of a car, they weren't demonically possessed, but yet they were able to show that they actually had some sort of abnormal strength. And when I mean abnormal strength, it's about, say for instance, if you were able to carry 50 pounds, if you're in that particular state, you probably would be able to carry up to maybe 75 pounds. So it's really like an extra third to what you would normally be able to pick and carry in strength-wise. So the term superhuman strength isn't probably the best term for it. But that's exactly, you know, you're able to have that little bit extra more, and sometimes that can be all that you need to be able to be safe too. So from that point of view, I would say it's more than likely the fight or flight and fear based. Also, from my point of view, I feel that levitation can be explained in someone who might be displaying signs of possible demonic possession as superhuman strength, because if somebody or a group of people are looking at somebody and feeling that they are already demonically possessed, and they move in a way, or they get themselves further away, or push themselves, or are able to move in a way that is way more than what they normally would, that could be perceived as somebody levitating. So that's just one of my sort of thoughts on where that would come from as well. So that could be another example too. And also we have to keep in mind as well that there is also substance abuse that can make you feel you've got superhuman strength. So I know here in Australia there's a bit of a problem with ice, methamphetamine type style drug, nasty stuff, and people are often in hospitals because they just feel like they're pretty much invincible, and they just go crazy really. And from that point of view, so that some drugs can actually make you feel like you've got superhuman strength, but you clearly do not. And these people can often be very, very hurt and or die from it as well. So in a nutshell, I say definitely fight or flight, definitely explainable. I don't think it is something to do with demonic possession. Still a great question, by the way. Hi, Mel, how are you? Good. Steroids, yes, steroids is another one. So actually, yeah, you're right, steroids. There is a particular drug that can actually make you physically stronger as well. Good point. I didn't think about that. Thank you for mentioning, Blair. Awesome. So yeah, so by the way, so what are your thoughts on it? So if you think that maybe demonic possession could actually be a cause for it, or you agree and think, no, actually I do think it's more fight or flight, put your comments down, even if you are watching the replay as well. I'd love to know what you think. And again, as you know, there's already been some great comments made as well so far. So I still think it's adrenaline. Yeah, exactly. So most people are tending to think it's more just from a physical sign in our body, just making sure that we stay alive. So thank you so much for watching. Until next week. See ya!